Hello everybody, Camelia here. Welcome back to a new sewing pattern review. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome also to all the new subscribers that are here on the channel in the last few days. I know that most of them, they are coming for the flip throughs of the Buddha and the Knipmode and the Patrones, but who knows, maybe some of you will be inspired also to watch sewing reviews or sewing tutorials and stuff like that on the channel. I promise you, it's everything about sewing. So today I would like to share with you my Haiku Two jacket from the sewing workshop patterns. It's my first time making these patterns, and you know, I've been looking for a long time to their patterns, but their style is a little bit more, how should I say, very modern, a little bit loose fitting, and it's not really my style, but there are some things that I really wanted to try. And Haiku Two jacket, well, in my case it's more like a cardigan. I've seen it in one of their latest sewing lives. They have on Facebook now and then a sewing live where they promote their stuff, and I've seen there they had sewing kit for this pattern, but for me, you know, and I have a lot of fabric, I don't need more fabric and I had a fabric for this. So something to remember, that in their sewing kits they don't give the pattern, and I also I've seen that they have sewing workshops for some of their patterns, and also there the sewing pattern itself is not included. So anyway, my interest was only for the pattern. I had this piece of 100% cotton sweater knit from Minerva. It's just a simple knit fabric with the knit stitches on the front and the purl stitches on the back, and you'll see why I show you this in a moment. But I had this fabric, and I was thinking to make, in my head I had planned a pair of white pants, you know, like lounge pants, and a little bit loose fitting sweater. I just want to say that if you hear something in the background like ooh, that's my stove, because it's really cold here. Well, now it's not so cold because I have the thing on, otherwise it's getting really cold, and so I let it on. Back to my fabric. So I was thinking to make a pair of white pants, but then this fabric is only cotton, it's 100% cotton, there is no elastane in it, and I know from previous sewing adventures, well, that was a pair of ready-to-wear bot pants, but I had a pair of pants with no elastane in them, very wide and very nice. But the fact is that every time that I was sitting, when I was standing up or walking or stuff like that, that you could see my knees in the pants, you know, like they were formed, and also the back side it was formed. So I know that for pants I really need to have a little bit of elastane to help the fabric contract back a little bit. So with that in mind, I start looking for something else, and so I came across this pattern which has really interesting lines, and you can see it here a little bit. Yes, I think you can see it. There are two versions. This is view, let's see, this is view B. View B is a long version with patch pockets, it's just below the hip, and this is view A, which is a shorter, it's a hip level, I think, it's a hip length, yes, for the shorter one. But as you can see, this is the back, it's looking very, well, not strange, but as you can see, the sleeve is in one piece. You see here some top stitching, and the front is also very interesting. So I was thinking, well, this is going to work really great for my fabric. To go back a little bit at sizing, so the sewing workshop, the patterns are made by Linda Lee, and Linda Lee, I know her from the Craft C classes. She has there some really great Craft C classes on, I think, on sewing with knits, and also I think with a cover stitch machine and a serger or something like that. Some really beautiful classes, very full of information. I highly recommend those. I don't know if they are freestanding on Craftsy, that you can purchase the class, or they are only with a subscription on Craftsy. I'm not sure about it, but because they are pretty old. But if you have Craftsy, you know, the membership, look for the classes from Linda Lee. They are very packed with really useful information. So knowing that the sewing workshop is from her, and I was thinking, well, her patterns should be also good. So I bought a pattern, and the next thing was to think about was deciding on the size. And this pattern is, the sizes are, so you have size XS, which is size 6, then you have S, which is 8 and 10, M, 12 and 14, and this going, and then you have the L, that is also a group of 2, 16 and 18, and XL is size 20 and XXL is size 22. That will be around bust size 46 inches. Well, I measured myself and I came to the conclusion that I fit pretty accurate in a size 14, so that will be the second size in size M, as you can see here. So, you know, I was thinking, well, I'm going to make an M. And to be sure that I'm not going to mess up with my beautiful fabric, I made a toile first. I'm just going to put this one a little bit to the side. I made a toile in a piece of fabric that, well, I know it's black, but you know, for my toile it was perfect. You can see it's a little bit big. But I had this fabric for years in my stash, and when I find a piece of fabric in my stash that I cannot really remember where I bought it, that means that it's very, very old in my stash, so I need to use it even for a test garment, because otherwise it's never going to get used. So this was the fit on size M. I know it's black and it's really difficult to see, but you know, although it feels nice, it does feel a little bit overwhelming, like it's a little bit big and you cannot see the length. It's, for me, it's almost knee length. So I was thinking, well, this is really, really big. And this jacquard jersey is actually a little bit lighter than my sweater knit, so I was thinking, well, in that one is going to be a lot of fabric hanging everywhere. So with that in mind, I went back to my original pattern and I traced a size S, and to be honest, I think I could have gone even with a size XS. The thing is that with this pattern, because the pieces are so strange, well, they're not strange, but because how the pieces are made, it's really difficult to you cannot really fit as you sew, because the back piece, I'm going to put this off because it's a lot of black here in the screen. The back piece, it's the upper back, which is cut completely with the sleeve in one piece, and then the front is cut only the front, and then you have here a seam like you have in a raglan type of garment. You can see here my beautiful myling dress that I from Designer Stitch, with all the piping details and stuff. I really want to make a video for this dress. It's a really gorgeous dress from Designer Stitch. So it's really difficult to make adjustments of this pattern when you are while you are sewing, you know, like you say, you know, I'm going to adjust that, because actually the sleeve, there is no underarm seam. The seam of the sleeve is here at the top, on the outer side of the arm. So it's something that you really need to decide with a test garment. The pattern, I bought it as a PDF, of course, and I printed it out, and because I wasn't sure about the size, I just traced, you know, my size first for my garment, for my test garment, and then I traced it for the sizes that I decided I want to have. There are, I think, cannot remember, but probably there are no layers on this pattern. Otherwise I would have printed only the smaller sizes, but there are no layers, but you know, it's okay. I used for this is for view B. I used for view B, so for the longer length, I used almost 3 meters. I think this is the only piece that I have, but the thing is that you need to cut this one on the cross grain, and it's because otherwise it's not going to fit. I don't know, maybe if you have extremely wide fabric, but on my 1.50 m wide fabric it did not fit to, well, the instructions are also to cut on the cross grain. And something else to remember, because you cut on the cross grain, if you have a fabric with a particular design or stripes, or I don't know what kind of print with animals or something like that, you'll be you have to think about in advance, because you need to cut it on the cross grain, and of course everything is going well. The front, well, everything you need to think about it, because otherwise you have all kind of directions of your print. So heads up for that. So it's getting cut on the cross of grain. This uses almost 3 meters of fabric. The wrong side of the fabric will show, something to remember also. A word about the instructions. As I said, on their website they have a workshop. I'm not sure what is containing and stuff like that. The instructions are pretty basic, you know. You should think a big 4 type of instructions with a little bit of text, and well, this is actually a pretty easy pattern to sew, so it's not so much to explain about it. But this is the style that the instructions are made. Again, it's a very easy pattern to make, and I find that you know, it's not as easy as a t-shirt, but the instructions are just enough to easily follow and to make this. So I'm going to, let's see here. So you have, this is the back, and as you can see, I went back to the drawing table and I just added a little bit of paper here, the underarm, where I had to go to size S, and I had to take probably somewhere else a little bit off. But as you can see, this is the back piece. Here is your neckline, and this is the sleeve here. This is the lower part of the back where you get the back piece, and this is the sleeve that is folding like this. So it's really difficult to fit this as you sew. I have here my finished garment. I'm just going to put this away for a little bit, and I'm going to talk in a minute a little bit about further about the pieces. So as you can see, this is how it's fitting me now, and I think this is, as you can see, there is still quite a bit of room, and I could have, the thing is that when you go smaller with this, the front will stay the same. Actually, it's going to take only fabric from here at the armhole. The side seam is the same, but the sizing is getting done by the lower back piece, and also from the sleeve actually is getting from here. So it's really difficult to sew, to fit this as you sew. You really need to have first a test garment. So this is the construction of this. Is actually this you see the lapel, or the how you want to call it, the collar is actually the front is getting cut in one piece, and then you fold this, and that is why I showed you the inside of my fabric, because you actually see the wrong side of the fabric. And you know, in this one I really like, because it's really nice. You see here all the little waves, the pros, let's say, the inside of the knit fabric, and here you see the knits or the V's. So I was thinking it's making a really nice, I don't know, you know, it's looking really nice. So, but it's something to remember, that if you want to make this, you need to keep in mind that the wrong side of the fabric will show. And I was thinking about how this could be adapted if I have a fabric that it has a back side that I don't want to see. So I'm thinking there are actually 2 ways, or 3 ways actually, well, 2. I think this would be really easy to be completely removed. So to cut, there is a notch here where this little piece is getting folded to the shoulder, and I think this could be cut, of course, with enough allowance to make a hem to turn it, you know, and this will be the finished width. So there will be here nothing, like so. And then of course you have nothing to fold over, so it will be a clean finish here. And something else that also can be done excuse me, could be to make a straight line from here, from the shoulder, from that notch all the way down, cut it there, add seam allowance. This piece that you cut off, again, add seam allowance. You could sew them, so the let's see, the right side of this piece to the wrong side of the front bodice, and then when you fold it, you have two right sides. But then I was thinking, then you'll have to top stitch all the way from the shoulder down to keep this in place, because otherwise this is going to fly open and you'll see that seam. But I think it's really possible to just top stitch this like this, and then it will be all the way down like a really wide bend here. So that was my idea if I had to make this one again. I have here a piece of boiled wool also from Minerva. This is really beautiful. This is a really beautiful wool. I worked before with this one in other colors. I have it. It's really gorgeous. But I think I have another one coming in a purple. But this one will work also beautiful for this jacket. And I think on this one I can either work it to see the back side of the fabric, because it's almost no difference in this boiled wool. But I can also make that treatment, as I said, to cut it here to have to eliminate this fold over piece. Or if I was to keep this, I think I will avoid making, because here, let's see, here as you can see there is a hem. This is of course finished with a double turned hem, and I'm thinking that if using with a boiled wool like this, there will be quite a few layers here to to sew at the shoulder. So my solution will be for this at the edge, so where this is coming here to come down, to just run a row of straight stitches on sewing machine, and that's going to stabilize the fabric also, of course. And so I will have to I will eliminate all this double turn, but I will have also to cut this away in the pattern, but it's possible. Next, the sleeves. For the sleeves in the original pattern there is a sleeve facing or a hem facing, which is getting interfaced. Well, it's actually like this. It's getting interfaced and then sewed here. But the sleeves, they were on me really long on the test garment, so I was thinking, well, I can eliminate that little facing. So I just turned twice and make a hem. Later I was thinking I could have done also, to turn the hem up and then to get the same wrong fabric showing as here. But the thing is that for that it was necessary to think a little bit ahead, and if you want to do that, you need to sew the sleeve seam, but then to stop where the hem will get turned to the outside, and then sew the sleeve seam from the outside here. So when you turn it, you don't see this serged hem, serged seam, but you see actually the finished. You see only the seam. You don't see the seam allowance. But I had already sewn this, so it was a little bit too late. For the hem, it's just a simple double turned hem. And usually I sew my hems, of course, in knit fabrics. I sew them with the cover stitch machine, but because in this case the hem is really wide, there is zero stress on this hem, on this row of stitches. I just used my sewing machine, and I think it's going to be really okay. For the pockets, and I will come back to the neckline in a moment. For the pockets, of course there are the pockets in the pattern, and I use them as they are. So like really huge ones. Well, I think mine turned out a little bit smaller. First I was thinking, well, to skip the pockets because I'm not really going to use them. But then I was thinking, because this fabric is so soft and it's hanging so nice, I was thinking, well, big pockets like this, they're also going to hang nice, and I'm going to give a little bit of extra detail on the front here, and I think that's really, really nice. The pattern is also giving small patches that you should interface and sew here at the top of the pocket on the inside to reinforce that. But because I don't intend to hang in the pockets and to put phones and keys and stuff like that, and they are more like, just a detail, I just skip those. So I just stitched around the patch pockets. And I think it's very important when you stitch patch pockets to stitch really close to the edge of the pocket, to have it look nice. Something, so this is the back, this is how the back is looking. It's very simple, as I said. This is the lower back, and the most of the, let's see, I did not top stitch the sleeves. It's quite difficult, you know, because you need to get in there, but probably it would be possible, I think. But this is top stitch this seam here, as you can see, and of course you can see a little bit of the hem of the lapel here, and also this lower seam is also top stitched. The neckline, the back of the neckline is finished very, very interesting actually. I'm going to put this off to show it to you. You can see it here. This is the inside of the garment. As you can see, there is a facing. This is a facing, and this is the back neckline. Let's see, and the facing is going, okay, you can see it's like this better. The facing is going, this is that shoulder seam that is going all the way to the end of the sleeve. And as you can see, in my case, it's a little bit floppy because in the original pattern, this back facing is interfaced. I skipped that because I was thinking that, you know, my fabric is so soft and I want to keep it soft. I could have used some soft interfacing, but anyway, I decided to skip the interfacing. I just searched the edges of this piece of fabric, and something very important is to so after you sew the neckline and you turn everything, of course, this is here. This is top stitched through all the layers, and you can let's see, you can see it here from the outside of the garment. Here also, and I think that's a nice detail actually, especially when you sew it with contrasting thread. Where is it? Actually, it's really nice. You need to top stitch it because otherwise it's going to hang around on your back. That's not really nice. And because I did not interface this piece of this facing of the back, I did add some seam tape into the seam here at the back of the neckline, because I wanted to be sure that it's not going, this fabric is, as I said, there is no elastane in it, so there is no recovery. So I need to keep it in place with the seam tape, and I think it's working really, really nice. As I said, my fabric, being a sweater knit, is making this more like a cardigan, and it's and not really as a jacket. But I can really see this one in a boiled wool or in this kind of cotton or whatever fabric. It will work really, really nicely. If you've seen the spots here, well, I'm going to try to wash this out. I hope it's going to wash out. My steam iron started to, it's not leaking, but when I pushed the button to get steam, well, actually I got no steam. Well, I got steam, but I also got a really big a lot of stains with caulk and stuff like that, because I do clean my iron every few weeks, but you know, I think it's trying to tell me that the end is near. It's already 7-8 years, or maybe longer, 9 years old. And I ordered a new one of those Silter, I think it's called, steam generators, irons. So it's going to come today. I'm going to make an unpacking video for that. I'm really, really excited because I have big hopes that my ironing problems are going to be finished. Because after he did this on this thing, on the next project I really got also an even bigger stain that I could not wash. I hope it will go in time away, but this is really not nice. This I hope to get it out. So I think this is everything that what I have to say about the Haiku Two jacket. It's a pattern that I highly recommend. If you are looking for a little bit out there cardigan or a jacket pattern, this is really fun to make. It's easy to wear. It's really nice that it has this really wide sleeve, because I can wear it also with the sleeve, with a sweater or something like that, that it has a little bit wider sleeve. So I think this is really nice, and I wonder if it will work also, you know, just wrap it and just put a belt on it. It will also work. So the Haiku jacket from the sewing workshop. Next I have a sweater and a pair of joggers from Haiku Two patterns. And next, because this needs to hang a little bit, I have my beautiful Christmas dress from Designer Stitch, the Luana dress, which I made in a most gorgeous, it's a brocade from my fabric guy from the Netherlands. He sent me this from the Netherlands all the way here to Germany, and it's just a gorgeous fabric. It's really fun. I need to let it hang a little bit to hem it by hand, and then I'll be ready to take some pictures and of course to talk about it. The Luana dress from Designer Stitch. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll meet me here back with my next video about the joggers and the sweater from Haiku Two, and of course a lot of other garments that I have in the making. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. I hope you like my video about my haiku cardigan, and I inspired you, I hope, for to give it a try. Thank you for watching, everybody. Bye.